Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we are going to see how we can apply the hover effect to images. We shall also see some smooth transitions at the end of the tutorial. As can be seen on the screen, we have already created a HTML document and a CSS document. The title has been named as TLA 30.2 Part 1. The CSS document has been linked with the HTML document using the link tag within the head tag as we have seen in previous tutorials. We start by first creating a division tag inside the body tag and giving it a CSS class named container. This container is going to occupy the size of the entire screen. Inside this division, we have made another division and created a CSS class for it named image holder. This image holder will have a smaller size in rectangular shape and will be placed exactly at the center of the screen. Do not worry. If you are confused, you will understand better when we come to the CSS section later. The entire objective of this tutorial is to create a rectangular box at the center of the screen which can hold a few images. Hence, this image holder, as the class name suggests, will hold images. Now let us move on to the CSS section. In the CSS section, we first use the asterisk operator to reset the margins and padding to 0 for the entire document. Box sizing is also set to border box. We then target the outer division called container with dot operator. We set the width as 1302 pixels. We set the height as 664 pixels. We set the background color as teal. We also set the display as flex. If you have seen the previous tutorials, you will relate to this property. The reason we are using flex display property here is because we want to have complete control over the layout of its child element, which in this case is the image holder. Hence, by setting the container as a flex box, we can easily control the position of image holder. We further set justify content as center. This will horizontally align the image holder to center. We then set align items as center. This will vertically align the image holder to center. With this, we complete targeting the container. Now let us move on to target the image holder. Again, we use the dot operator. We first set width to 600 pixels. We set the height to 400 pixels. This will ensure that we have a nice rectangular box shape. You may use different values as per your design idea. Now comes the most important part. We need to put a nice image inside this box of width 600 pixels and height 400 pixels. To do this, we set the background image property to URL as can be seen on the display. This URL allows the user to use any image in right format present on his or her system. In this case, we have an image of the famous Mickey Mouse on the system. Kindly note that this image is located exactly inside the folder where this HTML and CSS documents are. We then set background size as cover. This will ensure that the full image fits within the image holder. Try to use a bigger sized image. Now let us run this HTML document on live server and check. We can clearly see that the Mickey Mouse is nicely smiling at us. Now let us move back to the CSS section. Imagine if we could make this Mickey Mouse suddenly disappear and make Donald Duck appear. Wouldn't it be cool? For this, we use a cool feature in CSS called the hover feature, which allows us to change properties of certain elements by hovering the pointer over it. In our case, The default pointer is an arrow. Hence we will use the same. So, to use the hover feature, we simply apply hover on whichever class that we want. In this case we want to apply hover on the Mickey Mouse image, hence we will apply hover on the image holder with dot notation as can be seen. To use hover, the notation is a single colon followed by the word hover. Once we are done doing so, we simply set the background image as URL, but this time instead of Mickey Mouse, we use the image of Donald Duck. Let us now run this on live server and check. There it is. When we move our pointer over the Mickey Mouse, it disappears and Donald Duck suddenly appears. Isn't this cool? If you notice carefully, the change between the two images is quite abrupt. This change between the images in technical terms is called as an image transition. Since we have not explicitly set a transition, the transition between the two images is happening in an abrupt manner. But what if we wanted a smoother transition? Well, it is possible to do so using the transition property. In this case, we can use our image holder class and apply the transition property. We set the transition property as all and timing as 2 seconds. At the moment we are not concerned about what the parameter all means, but we are interested only in the time. Let us run this on live server and check. Yes. You can see that the two images are changing very smoothly within the specified time frame. You may alter this time and check the effect on the transitions by yourself. Congratulations! You have learnt yet another important and interesting concept in CSS.